EMALLA reached out to me and asked if I could review their Eliot Pro needle cartridges. I said, of course I can, but I'm going to be truthful, so here's what I think. When you're choosing your cartridges, I guarantee that you are overwhelmed with the amount of choices. Bug pin, tapers, textures, gauges. There's so much stuff to pick from. Personally, I use bug pin for just about everything. I believe the finer needles make color packing, lining, and shading all a lot easier because the finer needles don't have to work as hard to get through the skin. But I have already made some videos on color packing and color blending, so if you want to check them out, in the description below, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. These guys sent me a message on Instagram asking if I would review their cartridges in a video. I told them I would do it, but under one circumstance. I was going to be completely truthful in my review. If I thought they sucked, I was going to put them on blast. If I like them, I'll give them a raving review, but I was going to be 100% honest. I used to be a die-hard Quadrin fan, and you couldn't get me to use any other cartridge because Quadrin were the only way to go. Since then, I've ventured out into different cartridges, different brands, just to try what's on the market. Stop being so one-minded and give everything a go. I've also used Vex, Metal Fingers, Cheyennes, Easy, Bishop Da Vinci's, so many other brands. So I have what I feel is quite a lot of range to compare these two. So I have used these cartridges now for about 3 weeks. I've used them in my daily life. I've traveled and used them elsewhere, and I've also used them at the Iron Gate tattoo convention. You guys might have seen the piece that I did. I'll pop it up right here, and I did that piece completely using EMALLAs. So after using these cartridges for 3 weeks, what do I think? It is only early days, it's only been 3 weeks, but let's go through the pros and cons that I've come up with for these cartridges. Pros: the consistency has been on point so far. It is only early days, but I have not found one dud in any of these packets yet, and every cartridge seems to hit the same. So that leads me into how solid these things feel. These are probably one of the most solid cartridges I've ever used. I feel like the membrane in them might be a lot harder than other cartridges because it just feels super solid and it feels like they hit really well. There's no rattly vibrations, noises, the needle moving around, them spitting ink or anything like that. They are solid. And one of the biggest pros about EMALLA as a brand and as Eliot Pro as these needle cartridges is they have the biggest range I've ever seen in a cartridge company. They have everything from your standard needles, multiple tapers, bug pins. Then they have specialty needles like 3x3s and all of these crazy things that are like only very specific niche people would use. But to be able to offer that is so sick. All right, now let's get into the cons. Why don't I like these? The number one thing that has annoyed me with using these is the marking for the needle grouping on the cartridge body. It's not big enough. If you look at the Da Vinci's by Bishop, they have the needle grouping marking on them so big on the back of the cartridge that you could just glance at your cartridges on your workstation and see exactly what needle you're picking up. With these, you need a magnifying glass to be able to see what the number is. So EMALLA, please make it bigger because I already need glasses to see them. When I get older, I'm not going to be able to see them at all. I know this is silly, but the packages are kind of hard to open. They seem to be completely sealed and they have no cigarette packet opening thing. If you don't know what I mean because you don't smoke, they normally come with a little tab on the plastic here and you just rip it all the way around and it's really satisfying, and then you can go and pull the packages out. Whereas these, I had to dig at it with a pair of scissors. Not the end of the world, but if you've got these cartridges and you're trying to set up and you have to open, let's say 10 boxes because you've just got a new shipment of needles in and you need to open them up to put them in your station and you're clawing at the edges trying to get them open, you're gonna get pissed off with it pretty quickly. So I would definitely recommend making the plastic around the box easier to open. I know that is silly, but it's just something that I noticed. Another downfall of these cartridges is the color. I know this is a very specific and personal thing, but personally, I don't like the color blue. Sorry, Susky. I would way rather a black cartridge or something else like that because aesthetically, blue doesn't suit me. But I know every cartridge company has to have their color, they have to have their brand. And EMALLA's brand is just blue, that's what it is. The color doesn't affect the way that the needles work, but it affects the way that my videos look. I'm just joking. Look, at the end of the day, cartridges are cartridges. They are all basically the same and probably made in similar areas of the world. The only small difference from brand to brand is their tiny little niches or the way that they manufacture these needles. This isn't sponsored and they didn't send me any money to review these. They just sent me the cartridges, said, what do you think? Make a video. I honestly do believe that I'm gonna continue to buy these EMALLAs because I am genuinely impressed. I actually am. EMALLA do a bloody good job at making cartridges. Good job, EMALLA. You guys get my tick of approval. And thank you so much for sending me these cartridges. I appreciate it. If you guys want to try EMALLA, there is a link in the description that will get you 10% off. Go and try them out because honestly, they are great. I would love to make more videos like this in the future. So if you have a product that is tattoo related or streetwear related, hit me up in the comments below, send me a DM on Instagram, just contact me, we'll make some stuff happen. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay creative. Bye.